How's it going, guys? I'm here to review Jeepers Creepers 2 2003.
Billy, you check the other two. Make sure they're wired up good.
A lot of good they're doing.
So this film stars Jonathan Breca as the Creeper yet again, and this movie is supposed to take place after the first one, like a couple of days later, like literally, I think literally 2 days before the 23rd day before he goes back to hibernation. But yeah, this movie, it doesn't have Trish and Derry again. If you guys haven't seen the last movie, please click off now because this is a spoiler. If you guys haven't seen the first movie, but how the first movie ended, the Creeper pretty much sniffs Trish and Derry's fear, and he eventually takes Derry and pretty much kills him, and leaving Trish there hopeless and helpless. And that's why hopefully she's coming back for the new Jeepers Creepers movie, but we'll see. But yeah, those characters are didn't return for this sequel. Instead, you have a bunch of new characters, a bunch of young kids, high schoolers in a school bus they're on their way to a game, and then they hear about the news that that the police found an old abandoned church from the first movie that was burned down, but underneath that old church, thousands of bodies were just found. And all of this was in the last movie, so now they're just reporting it in the news, and then the school bus is like, what? And then, of course, school bus breaks down because they find one of the Creeper's weapons, or a little star. I don't know what you call it. It's like a ninja star. That's the best way I can describe it. It's like a ninja star in a way. So they find that shit in the tire, and they fix the tire, and they keep on going, and then eventually they get hit again with one of those things, and then that's how they know they're really in trouble. And one by one, these teachers, these kids, get taken off by the Creeper. And yeah. And of course, they're not the only characters. You have another character that's a father. He's a father of two sons, but one of his sons was taken away by the Creeper in the beginning of this movie. And his name is I don't know, I forgot his name. I think it's John Taggart, but I'm going to call him Mr. Taggart. Mr. Taggart's just on a vengeance. Like, pretty much he's on a mission to destroy the Creeper once and for all. But once, one of the high schoolers, I think her name was Nikki, but she gets a premonition of Derry, like a dead, like a spirit, like his spirit, I guess, like he's dead. He gets a premonition of Derry just warning her about the Creeper every 23rd spring, and for every 23 years, for 23 days, like 23rd spring, it gets to eat, and it gets to eat people and sniffs out their fear. So he was basically telling her what this thing is, and this thing's been around for like hundreds of years, and nobody's been able to kill it, pretty much.
How long can they keep this up? Forever.
We are down and disabled out on East 9. Anyone read me?
It's gonna be dark in about an hour.
So that's pretty much the plot in a nutshell. What did I think of this movie? This movie is pretty good. At first, I would think like the first one was always better. I mean, it still is. Don't get me wrong. The first movie still is. It's scarier. It's creepier. This one feels more like a more of a monster movie, like gore hound type movie. I don't know how to explain it. This movie is just more action packed. It's more out there. It has more gore, has more practical effects, more creature effects. This movie was more of just a creature feature movie to me than the first one. The first one, it was still a creature feature movie, but you can tell it was like taking its time, like slowly to build that kind of aesthetic. While this movie was just going off the wall, balls to the wall, just going for it pretty much. And this movie kind of like had like that grimy, like a drive-in theater type kind of feel, especially the opening sequence, which is really cool. The infamous scene where the Creeper's literally pretending to be a scarecrow, and especially it's on this poster right here, or this cover right here. But yeah, that was one of the best sequences in any horror movie, in my opinion, when he tries to take the sun and he's disguising himself as the scarecrow. So I think everybody should know Jeepers Creepers for that scene alone, because the opening scene is so iconic. This movie feels more of a creature feature, more of everything, just more violent, more action packed. Okay, the characters in this movie, they're not as enjoyable or relatable. Like in the first movie, you relate to Trish and Derry because they're like brothers and sisters, and they're actually pretty funny. They got good duos, they got good chemistry. But these characters are kind of like one-dimensional characters that you can care less. Some of them are racist, some of them are homophobic. I don't know why they chose that kind of direction with some of these characters. I don't know. I mean, then again, this was directed by Victor Salva, and I already told you in the last video, let's just say he had allegations, but I'm just here to review the art, not himself. I'm reviewing his movie. Overall, I still like the movie. I still like the story. I still like that campy feel. Some of the scenes were actually kind of creepy. Some of the scenes were actually pretty terrifying and intense. And the whole ending is pretty awesome. The opening scene, everything about this movie is pretty good. I'm not gonna lie. It's a solid, like, campy B-horror movie type feel that you can watch like at a drive-in. It's really good.
Every 23rd spring.
What's it doing up there?
For 23 days.
I had a dream.
He was trying to warn all of us that this thing has been around for thousands of years.
And yeah, John Taggart, or Mr. Taggart, he is a badass character. He's the one character that's literally trying to destroy this thing throughout this movie. So he's a cool character. I like his character. But everybody else, I wasn't like all the high schoolers in the school bus. I can care less. Because some of them are just homophobic and racist. And it's just like, again, I don't know why they did that with these characters. I don't know, but that's my only complaint about this movie. But everything else I liked, I enjoyed, and it's a solid sequel. So if I had to give this movie out of 10, I will give this movie a 7.7 out of 10. I enjoyed it. It's not nearly as good as the first one, but it's still a worthy sequel, and I enjoyed it a lot, especially when I watched this as a kid. So this movie's kind of nostalgic to me, so 7.7 out of 10. I enjoyed it. So that was my quick review of Jeepers Creepers 2. On my next review, I'm going to review the last, at least Jeepers Creepers movie so far in the trilogy, because I know they're making a fourth one, but I can't wait for the third one. But yeah, that was my quick review of Jeepers Creepers 2, 2003. Please leave a like, subscribe, and leave a comment. And I'll see you guys in the next one.
It isn't dead.
Looks dead to me.
Jeepers Creepers 2.